Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Karen Marie. I am outside today in the forest because I thought this would be a proper inspiration to get thinking about the holiday sewing that I plan to do for my friends and family and others. And I am taking part in the vlogger tour for the sewing challenge, A Gift to November. And A Gift to November is run by Alison from SewLikeDotty and Adam from Adam Sews. And I have been so excited to get started with my Christmas presents. So I keep grinning like an idiot when I'm trying to film the intro to this video. So I thought I'll take a walk in the woods and calm down, and afterwards I'll tell you what I have planned. See you in a bit. All right, I am back home after my walk. That was very refreshing and calming. And I'm now ready to really get stuck in with the ideas for this challenge. This video is going out on the 8th of November, and by that time, if you follow the hashtag, you've probably seen the rules for the challenge repeated many times over. So I won't go into that, but I'll leave a link to them below so that you can have a look at them if you're interested in partaking in the actual challenge, which I absolutely think you should, by the way. This is a brilliant challenge, and it really saved me last year. Because I don't know, I mean, are you the same? I tend to have all these massive ideas on all the things I want to sew, and then suddenly it's December and there's something going on every day and then I sort of give up on most of the ideas. So last year this challenge got me sewing much earlier, and if I remember, I'll put some pictures up of the things that I made last year. So anyway, I had so many ideas, so I kind of had to pare it back a bit, and I have now tried to sort them into 4 categories. And I have 3 or 4 ideas under each category, which should mean that this is kind of under control. Otherwise, you'll be here all day. If I can figure out how to do it, I'll put chapters in so that you can jump directly to the category that you're interested in. And if you want to stay here for the entire thing, then you're more than welcome to. I hope you have a good cup of tea or coffee or whatever your preferred drink is around. I have my tea. Sorry, I'll keep the slurping to a minimum, but I need a tea after my walk, you know? Sorry to that. All right, so I have 4 categories, as I mentioned. And the categories are after who they're intended for. I thought I would start with category 1, which is host and hostess presents. This is for when you're going somewhere. And often I think it's a good idea to have something that's either edible or that's decorative. So my idea number 1 for a hostess or host present is a popcorn bag. And I made one of these last year. The important thing is, of course, to make the popcorn bag from cotton. Cotton only, no blends. And you have to sew it with cotton thread, otherwise it'll burn in the microwave. And the idea is that you use the popcorn bag and put some kernels in. Kernels? That sounds weird. Is that what it's called? You know, when they're unpopped. And you put them in, and then you put them in the microwave, and you can use the regular popcorn instead of buying the pre-made ones that you have to toss in the bin. So it's more sustainable, it's reusable, obviously, washable, and all of that jazz. So That's my idea number one. My idea number two is an embroidered kitchen cloth or kitchen towel. I like to give away some pretty kitchen towels of high quality, and the thing is that you can obviously, I mean, you can make them yourselves, or you can buy the ready ones of high quality and then just make a little embroidery on them. It could also be like linen napkins. Same idea, that you can either embroider it straight on the fabric, or you can embroider it on a little piece of fabric and then sew it on, which is really decorative and just a little touch of something personal. So I think that's a nice idea, and I usually, I mean, I give it away with something else as well, but it's a good little gift. The third idea is to give flowers, but you give them with something decorative in the pot. And I have some like Christmas books where they showed some of these ideas. You can either make like a fabric, like a candy cane, and then just stuff it with cotton, and then you can either just place it in the pot or add like a flower stick on it and put it in the pot, or you can make I had this idea that I got from a book. It looks like sort of a lollipop that you can make in festive colors and then just stick it in the flowers that you give away. Just a little personal touch on a present for your host. The fourth and last idea is reusable tea bags, tea or coffee bags, but tea bags mostly. I am a big tea drinker. I adore coffee too. I mean, but I do like tea. But I prefer the loose leaf tea. I think it tastes a lot better. And I'm not a huge fan of the tea bags because they use glue very often, or staples and things like that, and I don't want that in my tea. So I do like the idea of making these little reusable tea bags that you fill the leaves into the tea bag and then just steep your tea, obviously. And then when you pull it back up, you can just empty the loose leaves straight into your bin or compost, and then just, you know, rinse it. And that's all done. Now I have a few of these little ones that I have made with kind of a cheesecloth, and just fill the tea in and then just use the drawstring and then steep it in your cup. Obviously, I mean, I could use a proper pot and everything, but sometimes I'm the only one who wants tea, and then to, you know, make a whole pot just seems a little wasteful. And honestly, I'm not too pleased with having to wash the entire thing up. So laziness and sustainability all in one. Okay, category 2. These are the stocking fillers or advent calendar gifts. Every year I make an advent calendar for one of my 2 sisters. These ideas that I have in this category is for someone that you know pretty well. So I wouldn't necessarily give this in an advent calendar or stocking to someone I didn't know that well, but these are for my sisters. So I do hope that they don't watch this video. And idea number 1 is to make reusable and of course washable makeup remover pads. And this year, I think I'm going to make her some new ones. I usually make them with like a cheesecloth or bamboo toweling or something like that on the one side, and then something pretty on the other side. And I just use my overlocker to, you know, sew around. But I have sometimes also made them like round and then sewn and turned and everything, and they look prettier, but these are just as good. And I make them in different sizes so that some are easier to use for removing like mascara, and some are easier for removing your face creams and stuff like that. I also made her a little bag so that she can just put everything when she's used them, put them into her bag and then just wash the bag with the little pads inside. And I thought this year I'll also make a new bag so that she can have one bag for the clean ones and one bag for the dirty ones. I'll restock her supply of that. Another thing that I usually use are actually panties or undies. And I use the Acacia from Megan Nielsen. It's a free pattern. And you don't really have to know the exact size, I find, when you're making underwear. So, you know, because I use like viscose jersey usually when I make these, and they are so stretchy that it doesn't really matter that you don't know the exact circumference of the hips, for instance. As long as you are pretty well acquainted with their dress size, I think, I mean, homemade underwear, it's a great gift, and they fit so much better than the ones you buy in the store. And the last idea under this category is I actually make these, it seems so old-fashioned when I say it, but I make these little scented bags, and I have a bag of like lavender, loose lavender leaves that I put inside, and it is such a great little thing to have in your underwear drawer. Every time you open the drawer, you can sort of have this nice little smell of lavender. And I think it's an old-fashioned idea, but I still like it. And I make these little cute bags with maybe some Christmas fabric or something in it, and it's a nice little stocking filler. All right, on to category 3. And category 3 is like, you know, bits and bobs, odds and ends, and teacher's presents. And I don't know about you, of course, but I usually make a little present for the girls' teachers. I think it's a good idea to let them know that their hard work is very much appreciated. So this is for when you need something small, or maybe you need just something a little bit extra in a present that you already bought, that you need just a little bit more. This can be a good idea. So last year I made a little case for glasses that I made for my aunt, because I know that I mean, I don't know about you, but I tend to have like my sunglasses. They're not expensive or anything, and that makes me just toss them in my bag, and then they come out all scratchy and everything because they've been down there with my keys and things like that. And it's the same with like reading glasses. If you don't really wear glasses all the time, you might be sort of just, you know, putting them in your pocket or in your bag or something. And I made this little case for my aunt's reading glasses, and I embroidered a little motif on the front. But I just put it's sort of like a quilted thing that I put a little bit of wadding in between to sort of make it a little more fluffy or cushiony to preserve the glasses. And it went down a treat, I think. Idea number 2 are these kinds of cornets. Is that the right word? But I think cornets is the right word. And we used to have these hanging on our Christmas tree. They were made from paper. And my mum would put some little treats inside. I plan on making a few of these in fabric. What I intend to do is just, make a double layer, put one inside the other and bind it with some bias binding or just a facing to sort of fold over. And I intend to put some chocolates in and give them to the girls' teachers this year. And idea number 3 is, they call them Swedish hearts for some reason. Maybe I have to give that to the Swedes though. We used to have them all the time. We have them on the Christmas tree and everything, but I plan on making a big one from felt. Or boiled wool or something, probably felt because it's thinner, so it's easier to sort of get the braids right. And to sew on a handle that I can hang on one of the doors in the house, and then I'll keep this year's Christmas cards inside them. And I think that's a lovely idea, and it's simple, and it's a lovely little extra gift. If I feel so inclined, I'll maybe do a little cross stitch or something over the handle there. I'll have to see what I can find time for. Okay, and then the final category, which is category 4. And these are presents for your family or friends or someone who want to make something extra for. So I plan on sewing some really nice beanies for my friends and family this year. Idea number 2, I'm sure many of the others A Gift to November vloggers have already mentioned those, but I think a pair of really nice pajamas is a really nice present for someone you love. I mean, it's also has the advantage of not being too difficult to make, and you don't have to know the exact size, seeing as they are usually pretty oversized anyway. I usually make the Itch to Stitch Pine Cove PJs, I think they're called. But there are free patterns available, and I intend to only leave like 3 patterns here. So the assembly line has really good pattern. It's shorts only, which may not be appropriate if you're in the northern hemisphere, but and the Peppermint magazine loungewear set, I think, is also a free pattern, and I believe that Ruan from the Yorkshire Sew Girl has made those several times, and they look really lovely on her. So I plan on making one of those for myself actually, but not as part of this challenge, obviously. Idea number 3, that's t-shirts. I have a couple of brothers and it's not always easy to know what to buy for them. So I thought that in addition to something that they really want from their wish lists, I intend to make some t-shirts. And Friday Pattern Company has a free pattern called the Sunday V-neck, which looks really great. It's a unisex pattern, and I mean, you can do collar blocking and stuff like that too. And I really want to make a couple of those for my brothers and one for myself too. The last idea is seating mats. Now, seating mats are ideal for your friends and family who like to spend time out of doors. My mother made a couple for me, and I really, now that she's gone, I treasure them more than ever. She made some for me in like a boiled wool, and they are in my backpack whenever I am walking outside. And they take up no space in the backpack, and they're very light to carry. And One final idea, sort of a bonus, not in any category, is if you have a sewing friend. I think that making a cover for the scissors is an excellent idea. I keep scissors all over the house and I plan on making some covers for them. So it's sort of like a scissors case, I guess you would call them. So you can put your scissors inside, and it makes it easier to spot them if you have a tendency to sort of leave them places, like I do. And it sort of protects them too. And it's better if you have small children to have them thoroughly covered so that they don't accidentally cut themselves on them. All right, that was a monstrous long video. Bravo if you've stuck with me to the end. I am very, very excited to start my Christmas sewing. And I hope that you have found some ideas in my video that you can use for your own projects this November. Keep your eyes out for tomorrow's bloggers and for the hashtag on Instagram. See ya. Bye.